Morning and happy birthday. Up next, the DBS Major Morning News.
DBS News. Fresh in the morning. Eye-opening and balanced. The DBS Morning News starts right now.
This morning's headlines: Minister for National Security Rayburn Blackmore has announced the appointment of Lincoln Corbett as Dominica's new acting police chief. In news from the region, the Pan American Health Organization has issued a new health alert amid rising yellow fever cases in the Americas. And on the international scene, the death toll rises to 2,000 as hopes for survivors begin to fade following last week's earthquake in Myanmar. Well, good morning. I'm Garvin Richards with the DBS Major Morning News. The details right after this.
Ever wondered what's in your milk? These are the following benefits of Distinction Milk. It's a great source of calcium and protein, vitamin A and D added. It's definitely not a filled milk like some of the other brands. Distinction Milk texture and taste is great for shakes, baking, pouring cream, and is side for mashed potatoes and much more. Even better, because of its rich texture, Distinction evaporated milk can be stretched. Isn't it great to know what's in your milk? Distinction Milk, distributed by Fine Foods Inc.
Since 1910, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited has proudly served Dominica, offering a wide variety of products and services in shipping, logistics, insurance, travel, retail, and wholesale. We are committed to serve you. Contact us today at 767-255-1100 or visit us at our main office on Old Street, Roseau. From humble beginnings to proud achievements, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited.
Petro Caribe. Tank installation is part of our mission. Excellent client support is what we got. Contribution to development of Dominica. Supply of LPG at an affordable rate. Let's go. Petro Caribe straight. No time to waste. So come on everyone with me to Petro Caribe. 250 gallon propane tank. 420 pound propane tank. 100 pound LPG cylinder. Petro Caribe. 20 pound fiberglass cylinder. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe.
DBS News.
Welcome back. First up in the news this morning, Minister for National Security Rayburn Blackmore has announced the appointment of Lincoln Corbett as Dominica's new acting police chief, with Jeffrey James as the acting deputy police chief. Well, the appointment is for a 6-month period, and it became necessary as the acting police chief, Davidson Valerie, proceeds on pre-retirement leave.
Let me take this opportunity on behalf of the government of Dominica to thank Mr. Valerie for his extraordinary service to country. Certainly anyone who has served in that capacity, policing is a very demanding and stressful job, and he served 49 years with distinction and with the highest degree of passion, and we wish him well. Someone who has served that long in such an occupation will further help to define our national story as a people. It means, therefore, the police force has to go through a process of restructuring. So Mr. Valerie proceeds on pre-retirement leave as of this month. And it means, therefore, the position of Commissioner of Police becomes vacant. And likewise, that of the Deputy Commissioner of Police. And the Prime Minister has exercised his authority in law and has advised Her Excellency the President to appoint Mr. Lincoln Corbett as the Commissioner of Police acting from April 1st to September 30th, 2025. That is 6 months. In like fashion, the Deputy Commissioner of Police is also a creature of the Constitution And the Prime Minister again had to exercise his authority and so advise the President. Mr. Jeffrey James has been appointed to act in the post of Deputy Chief of Police for the same period I just referenced. These are two men who have served for a period of time, and the time is now opportune to actually identify a cadre of young men and women who have to be harnessed and trained in various contemporary forms of policing. And we're also looking at restructuring the rank structure.
Mr. Blackmore says another major appointment will be announced soon.
Going forward, a new position of Assistant Commissioner of Police for Administration and Training will be actually created. That position will be created, and to bring greater focus on a standardized approach of training exercises and programs and seminars on contemporary policing issues, and to further augment the human resource capacity within the police force, and to create an avenue, therefore, where the public, in a systematic and transparent way, can launch their grievances, and of course, there can be due process in that regard.
And that's the Minister for National Security, Rayburn Blackmore. Meantime, outgoing Acting Police Chief Davidson Valerie says his close to 40 years in the police force was a rewarding experience.
I thank God for a rather successful career in the Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force, which spans 39 plus years. I proceed on retirement leave from 1st April 2025. I am honored to have served through every rank of the Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force, the last being Acting Chief of Police for 15 months. My heartfelt thanks to the powers that be for granting me the opportunity to contribute meaningfully to the advancement of the Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force. It was indeed an honor and privilege to serve the government and people of Dominica, and indeed the rank and file of the Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force. As I depart, I am confident that the current leadership of the police force is committed and well able to take the police force to higher heights. I pray God's blessings upon them, and I wish them well. God bless the Commonwealth of Dominica, and God bless the Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force.
And that's the outgoing Acting Police Chief Davidson Valerie. Well, in some more news this morning, two men have been released on bail of $30,000 each as the police continue with investigations into an unlawful assembly outside the Fort Young Hotel on the 19th of March. Well, the men are Crispin Piper of Cock Street and Madsen Roll of Stock Farm. Ronaldo Luke reports.
The complaint stated that on March 19, 2025, at Victoria Street, Roseau, the accused men unlawfully, riotously, and tumultuously assembled to the disturbance of the public, contrary to the provision of Section 4 of Chapter Number 1002 of the Riot Act of the Consolidated Laws of Dominica of 2017. The accused were not required to enter a plea, as the matter is an indictable offense, expected to be tried at the High Court. During the hearing, Police Prosecutor Inspector Simon Edwards raised no objection to bail. Consequently, Attorney Ronald Charles, representing the accused men, presented two sureties to the court. After assessment, the court deemed both individuals fit and proper to stand bail for Roll and Piper. Bail was granted in the sum of $30,000 with 9 conditions attached. The accused men must surrender to the jurisdiction of the court on June 30th, 2025, and any other date set by the court to answer to the charge. They are required to surrender all travel documents to the Magistrate Court Office on April 1st, 2025, and are prohibited from leaving the state without first obtaining the court's permission at least 72 hours in advance. Additionally, they were ordered to live honest and industrious lives, refrain from interfering with any of the witnesses directly or indirectly, and avoid discussing the case in the media, either personally, through an agent, or via third party. They are also barred from attending any public gatherings, demonstration, or protest for the duration of the case. Both men must report to the Roseau Police Station every Wednesday. 16 individuals have appeared before the Roseau Magistrate Court charged with unlawful assembly, and the police say investigations are ongoing and more charges are expected to be preferred. Ronaldo Luke reporting for DBS News.
Meantime, Alvin James and Ed John Baptist of Laplane, Selwyn Powell of Portsmouth, and Jacob John Baptist of Castle Comfort were arrested, interviewed, and will be taken to court this morning. The police have said the investigation into the unlawful assembly of March 19th will continue. And the customs officers have filed 4 charges against Jovan Henry of Tarish Pit, who resides at Belfast, Maho.
The indictable complaints allege that on February 25, 2025, Henry knowingly removed one Samsung Galaxy Note 20 valued at EC $500 and one 14-karat gold Mahai pendant valued at EC $1,688.96 from Millennium Freight's Aeropost facility located at the corner of Long Lane and Hillsborough Street in Roseau. The removal was allegedly done with the intent to defraud the Customs and Excise Division of revenue amounting to EC $221.63 for the phone and EC $554.32 for the pendant. The accused was not required to enter a plea to this charge, as the matter is an indictable offense expected to be tried at the High Court. However, he pleaded not guilty to the summary charges, which allege that on the same date, he removed the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 and the Mahai pendant from the facility without the permission of a customs officer. The prosecution did not object to bail, but requested proper surety and conditions attached. Attorney Ronald Charles, representing Henry, presented Claude Toussaint as a proposed surety. After assessment, the court accepted Toussaint as the surety, and bail was granted in the sum of $50,000. As part of his bail condition, Henry must surrender his travel documents to the court on Tuesday, April 1st, 2025, seek permission at least 72 hours in advance to leave the state, live an honest and industrious life whilst on bail, and report to the Maho Police Station every Friday. The presiding magistrate cautioned that failure to adhere to any of the bail conditions will result in the immediate revocation of bail. Ronaldo Luke reporting for DBS News.
The 15th edition of the DBS Radio Felix Henderson National Reading Competition will be launched officially this morning. Well, the competition is being held under the theme Reading and Calypso. Assistant coordinator of the competition is Annadale Jacob.
The 2025 DBS Radio Felix Henderson National Reading Competition, headline sponsored by Dragon Windows, kicks off Tuesday, April 1st, 2025, with the media launch at the UWI Global Campus Auditorium from 10 a.m. This year will be the 15th edition of the competition, and it will be held under the theme Reading and Calypso, highlighting part of Dominica's cultural heritage. To bring this theme to fruition, DBS Radio has partnered with the Dominica Calypso Association. The first round gets underway on Monday, April 7th, 2025.
And that's the assistant coordinator of the 2025 DBS Radio Felix Henderson National Reading Competition, Annadale Jacob. And Jamaican reggae artist Itana is among a star-studded lineup for this year's Jazz and Creole Festival. The event will take place on the 4th of May at the Fort Shirley Cabrits National Park, where this year's festival will be held under the theme Sunset Creole Chic.
The legendary swinging stars Abia Israel, Marie Pascal, Shalina, Carlin XP, Colton T, the internationally acclaimed Etienne Charles, Dominica's own powerhouse, Marie-Claire Giroux, Signal Band, the Hitmakers, and to close our stellar lineup, the international reggae icon, Itana. Join us on May 4th, 2025 at Fort Shirley from 2 p.m. for a journey into music and Creole culture.
Well, let's head into news from the region this morning as the Pan American Health Organization, FAHO, yesterday issued a new epidemiological alert in response to an increase in yellow fever cases across the Americas during the first months of 2025. But it said that the number of confirmed human cases as of March has more than doubled compared to the total recorded in all of 2024, raising concerns about a potential expansion of the disease. Initial symptoms of yellow fever can include fever, chills, severe headache, back pain, general body aches, nausea, vomiting, fatigue, and weakness. While the figures released by PAHO did not include any Caribbean country, it warned nonetheless that yellow fever is a serious viral disease transmitted by mosquitoes, which can be fatal but is preventable through vaccination. And on the international scene, Myanmar has observed 1 minute of silence to mourn those who died from last week's magnitude 7.7 earthquake that killed more than 2,000 people in the country. Well, Friday's earthquake was felt in neighboring countries like Thailand, hundreds of miles away, where the death toll stands at 20. Rescuers in both countries are still searching for survivors, though hopes are fading as the critical window, the first 72 hours after a quake, has passed. Well, the United Nations says the earthquake has compounded an already dire crisis in Myanmar, which is in the midst of a 4-year civil war. Despite the destruction, reports suggest that the country's military leaders are still carrying out airstrikes against pro-democracy rebel groups. Well, that's the news. Let's recap the headlines. Minister for National Security, Reuben Blackmore, has announced the appointment of Lincoln Corbett as the acting police chief. The Pan American Health Organization issues a new health alert amid rising yellow fever cases in the Americas, and the death toll rises to 2,000 as hopes for survivors begin to fade following last week's earthquake in Myanmar. Well, that's the news. Stay tuned for sports.
The range of Kin juices are 100% natural with no added sugar. Kin offers a range of refreshing juices which are enriched with vitamin C and no added preservatives. Delight yourself in one of Kin's nectars or treat your little ones with a Kinita box drink at a refreshingly low price today. Kin, the juice in our lives. Sold at major supermarkets island-wide. Distributed by Fine Foods Inc.
Since 1910, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited has proudly served Dominica, offering a wide variety of products and services in shipping, logistics, insurance, travel, retail, and wholesale. We are committed to serve you. Contact us today at 767-255-1100 or visit us at our main office on Old Street, Roseau. From humble beginnings to proud achievements, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited.
Petro Caribe. Tank installation is part of our mission. Excellent client support is what we got. Contribution to development of Dominica. Supply of LPG at an affordable rate. Let's go. Petro Caribe straight. No time to waste. So come on everyone with me to Petro Caribe. 250 gallon propane tank. 420 pound propane tank. 100 pound LPG cylinder. Petro Caribe. 20 pound fiberglass cylinder. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe.
Covering the nation and beyond. DBS Sports Report.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
For over 47 years, the National Bank of Dominica Limited has been a cornerstone of our nation's development, standing by our customers at every step. Together, we are shaping a brighter future. we recognize that every journey is different, and we are dedicated to nurturing meaningful relationships. We are here to understand your needs and support your goals. Our personalized services are designed to provide the peace of mind you deserve wherever life takes you. Trust us to be there when it counts. With NBD, you have a partner invested in your success today, tomorrow, and always.
Well, welcome to the Morning Sports Report. Let's begin with news that the Minister of State with Responsibility for Sports, Senator Oscar George, believes a synthetic track for Dominica could become a reality before the end of the year. Well, the facility, which will be named after the Olympic gold medalist Thea Lafo-Godson, is expected to be constructed at the Point Round area. The minister says that discussions are underway and things are looking promising for the facility, which will be done in a phased approach.
Yeah, well, as you know, we have decided to build a track at Point Round, near the city, near Portsmouth. And to date, we have identified the exact site. We have completed our surveys and our investigations. We are working with our partners to finalize all the logistics in terms of the development of the actual track. And of course, we will do it in a phased approach. So in the first instance, we will have the laying down of the actual synthetic track, and the second phase will involve surrounding infrastructure like bleachers, lights, change rooms, washrooms, and stuff like that. So I think this year is the year where we're going to achieve that, and I think we're looking good when it comes to sports. By the end of the year, we should have a synthetic track. And of course, in working with the Athletics Association, they're saying that the goal is to host Carifta in a few years' time. So we're working towards that.
And that's the Minister of State with Responsibility for Sports, Senator Oscar George. President of the Dominican Netball Association, Colita Hamilton, is rating the Nature Isle Netball Showdown as a success. The tournament, which was held in Dominica, featured teams from Guadeloupe and St. Lucia. It ended last weekend. Well, to the Max Netball Academy were crowned champions of the inaugural event.
Well, like with every first attempt, we had our little hiccups and there are lessons learned, but the main thing is that there has been a rekindling, so to speak, of the interest in netball. There has been fire sparked. The teams actually, there was once a time we forgot what it felt like to just be friends with each other from the other islands and play non-competitive netball, and it was brought back, the nostalgia was brought back to the point that teams actually now actively organizing friendlies, and it is something that we plan on doing next year, God spare life. And so whatever that we failed here, we will improve on it and make it even bigger. We've had a very, very good response from the other islands viewing from Facebook, and so it is something that Dominica can look forward to in the near future, another showing of this event.
All right, and of course having our sister island Guadeloupe with us, newcomers to the sport of netball, but how important was it, to have them in this sort of competition?
It was really important because Guadeloupe does not, like the president and I, in speaking, we recognize that they actually do not have anyone else to play with but Dominica, and so it was very imperative that we invite them and to do our part, because netball is reaching the islands and the countries which do not have English as a first language, and the only way you can improve in such sport is to play among others who are better than yourself. And so we see that Guadeloupe could hold their end. They are young, but they are eager, and we anticipate that the next time they will give us a shock. We anticipate that.
And that's the president of the Dominican Netball Association, Colita Hamilton. The National Bank of Dominica's Sports Division Primary Schools football competition heads into the girls division this morning with matches at two venues. The Southeast Zone in Newtown, where we'll see the schools, the Grand Bay Primary Schools, the Grand Fort Mont John Primary Schools combined, Castle Bruce Primary School, Goodwill Primary School, and the Christian Union Primary. And at Portsmouth and the Benjamin Park in the Northeast Zone, schools competing are the W.S. Stevens Primary, Baroness Patricia Scotland Thibault Primary combined, the Penville Primary, St. John's Primary School, and Sinico Primary School. Well, both zones will begin at 10 o'clock this morning. A parliamentary representative for the Maho constituency, Kasani Laville, feels that the Maho T20 Softball Premier League met its objectives. When the league ended on the weekend with the Soufriya Knight Riders emerging as champions, Laville says that the tournament met its goal of uniting the community through sports.
I feel certainly that we met our objectives. First of all, one of the things that we wanted to promote was widespread participation of various people from all ages. And you can see clearly by the makeup, the construction of many of the teams, you would see that it spreads across ages, from the young to middle age to even some of the seniors are part of the team. You know, people with grey hair are on the team, and you see they are some of the better bowlers. And of course, we have vendors from all across our community coming here. That's an opportunity to boost economic activity for them, and that is a wonderful thing. What I love about these types of engagement is that it draws people, people who are playing and participating. It draws those who come to support, those who come here in solidarity, and this has happened.
And that's the parliamentary representative for the Maho constituency, Kasani Laville. Cricket West Indies President Dr. Kishore Sharlo has hailed the leadership of the former West Indies captain Craig Brathwaite, where Brathwaite stepped down as the West Indies Test captain yesterday. Dr. Sharlo says that Brathwaite indicated his intention to step down during the last Test series against Pakistan, and he says that Brathwaite has been a good servant to the game.
After the first match, Craig actually reached out to me as president, suggesting that he was going to announce his resignation pretty much on that tone. This was before the second match, second test. And so I told him it may not be the most opportune time to announce. And he explained to me the reasons why he wanted to move on from captaincy then. Explain as a case where he enjoys the responsibility, but he believes he could give the team more. And he agreed to postpone the announcement. He then went on. Not only did he agree then, but you saw his performance in that final test match in Pakistan. So I want to thank Craig profoundly for being the true leader that he really is, and for by no means, and he has said this to me, he is fully committed to playing for West Indies. He told me he has a few more years in his tank, so I was quite happy to hear that. And I'm certain that being only 2 test matches shy of 100 tests, I suspect the selectors may give him that chance. I'm not twisting anybody's arm, you know, but I only imagine that he will play those 100 tests at some point, and whenever he does achieve that, Cricket West Indies will be right there celebrating with him.
And that's Cricket West Indies President Dr. Kishore Sharlo. Well, no announcement has been made on the replacement for Craig Brathwaite as the Test captain. Brathwaite's official tenure as Test captain began in 2021. Under his leadership, the West Indies secured their first Test victory in Australia in 27 years and a landmark Test victory over Pakistan in Pakistan, the first in 34 years. His captaincy also saw the West Indies defeat England at home in 2022 and claim a 2-0 series win over Bangladesh in challenging conditions during the COVID-19 pandemic in 2021, where Craig Brathwaite says it was an honour to lead West Indies cricket.
These victories reflect our team's resilience, and I'm proud of what we've achieved. We've achieved it together. But leadership is also about knowing when to pass the baton, and I believe this is the right time for someone else to wear the cap. I've spoken with our president, Dr. Kishore Sharlo, and incoming head coach, Darren Sammy, and I look forward to working with them as a committed member of the squad. To our passionate West Indian fans, thank you for your unwavering support. We must always do what's best for the team, and I'm confident this decision will help us build on our success. Let's continue to rally around the West Indies and push our cricket to even greater heights.
And that's the former West Indies Test captain Craig Brathwaite. Meantime, Shea Hope will assume the role of a T20 international captain in addition to his existing one-day international captaincy. Well, Shea Hope is replacing Rovman Powell, who led the T20 side since May of 2023. Under Powell's leadership, the West Indies enjoyed a resurgence in T20 cricket, securing home series victories against India, England and South Africa. And Rovman also played a key role in the team's rise from the 9th to 5th place in the ICC T20 international rankings. The Cricket West Indies Director of Cricket Miles Bascom says that Rovman Powell did a good job as captain, but he thinks that Shea Hope can take the team to the next level.
Shea Hope will take over as T20 captain, so that will make him the official captain of both white ball formats. Shea has really proven himself as a leader. His last 9 ODIs, he has won 6 since the series started here in Australia. And we think that Shea is going to help us to move our white ball teams in the direction that we want to go. It's about alignment, and we think that Shea is the right person to take us into the future, including our World T20. Next World T20 is scheduled for India and Sri Lanka.
And that's the Cricket West Indies Director of Cricket, Miles Bascom, taking us to the end of the DBS Morning Sports Report. More sporting highlights for you during the course of the day. And also, we will have some sporting highlights at 1:28 during the 13:50 news. A quick reminder, remember that today is the media launch of the Felix Henderson DBS Radio National Reading Competition, and that's taking place this morning at the UE Open Center, well, UE Open Campus in Emsall. Well, that's the news. On behalf of the entire News and Sports Department, our links person, Hazari Williams, I'm Gavin Richards saying good morning.
For over 47 years, the National Bank of Dominica Limited has been a cornerstone of our nation's development, standing by our customers at every step. Together, we are shaping a brighter future. We recognize that every journey is different, and we are dedicated to nurturing meaningful relationships. We are here to understand your needs and support your goals. Our personalized services are designed to provide the peace of mind you deserve wherever life takes you. Trust us to be there when it counts. With NBD, you have a partner invested in your success today, tomorrow, and always.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
DBS News. Accurate, up-to-date, professional. We bring you the news of the nation via 3 newscasts, Monday to Saturday at 7 a.m. The DBS Major Morning News, 1:15 p.m. Your lunchtime news bulletin, and at 6 in the evening, the DBS Evening News. Call us at 448-4302. Listen on www.dbcradio.net. Don't forget to like our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/DBS Radio. Stay on top of the nation's news with your nation station, DBS. "7:34 is the time here on your Nature Isle. Made possible. Compliments the good folks of Do It Center. Get ready for Easter. Hop on over and grab all your essentials at Do It Center Express. Check them out today. Up next, we'll bring you your morning's weather report, but just before we do so, would like to remind you of your Kalinago sentence for today, and that is, I am still learning. I am still learning in Kalinago. Our